Hey everybody, Logan here. So it's officially been a month since the Nintendo Switch has released. And well, that means it's been a month since we've gotten our hands on this little baby here. This is the Switch 2 Pro Controller. Of course it is. Well, yeah, I have stick caps on it. So I bet you're asking yourself, wait, why does yours look different than mine? No, that's it. I just put stick caps on it. So what I wanted to do was say, is this really the best controller on the market? Period? Is it better than the DualSense Edge? Is it better than well, yeah, it's better than a lot of the stuff out there. But the only thing is, it's really only one of two official wireless, we can even take the word official, but wireless Switch 2 controllers you can get that are, well, wireless. Is it worth it? Is it still the controller you should be purchasing? Or should you wait for some of the other alternatives coming out? Let's talk a little bit more about this. Let's look at the Switch GameCube, Switch 2 GameCube wireless controller. And well, let's talk about what else is coming out and see if this is still going to be your best bet in the coming days. Here's a few other options I laid out here. I figured, you know what, I'll put the wired ones out there and we'll just touch on those very quickly later in the video. But these are the options that you have for the Switch 2 in terms of what's marketed as Switch 2 controllers. There are plenty of Switch 1 options that are compatible, some that aren't. It's a Bluetooth issue in terms of what you can and what you cannot use and functionality, but we're not going to get into that. We're just going to look at the Switch 2 offerings and why this one, and if this one is still the best. At the end of the video, I think you'll get your answer, but let me go over why this one is still the big boy on the block. One, it's $85. Two, it's official Nintendo. This is their first party big boy offering that's got everything you could use or want or need for your Switch 2, playing Switch 1, Switch 2, GameCube, Nintendo 64, SNES, Super NES, and Sega Genesis, Game Boy. Okay, I think that's all of them. But this is a fantastic controller in every way you look at it. It feels great, it controls well, it's extremely responsive. There are a couple of issues that I've taken with the controller, and you can see one right away is the sticks. I don't like the way the stick caps feel, so I put on the Skull & Co. stick caps, and that's much more comfortable, less, I guess you could say less slick, because the tops are rather slick, and I didn't really like the way that felt, so by putting these on, it's perfect. In my opinion. So I got the white ones. They're not technically the same color, even though they look close to it, but I think it sets it off a little nicer. The other thing is you've got the lack of grips here, the lack of textured grips. So it's nice, it's comfortable. Your finger juices and stuff don't spot it up like you would with some of the other matte finish controllers out there. I think it's awesome. It feels great, but I just wish it had that texture that the Switch 1 Pro controllers did. Now, having the GL and the GR buttons are fine. I don't use them. I like that they're not really stuck out there, so it's not like these massive flappy paddles where you're just like always hitting them and they're obtrusive. So it doesn't have that. Now, the rest of it, it just feels great in the hand. The HD Rumble, you have your NFC, the HD Rumble 2, by the way. It's more advanced than the one that you would find in your Switch Pro controller. The D-pad is okay. Are there better D-pads out there? Yes. I'm not a big fan of the sharpness, even though it is smoothed off. I prefer something that's more like this D-pad right here in the Onn Controller, which is just a rip-off of an 8-bit Do controller. But that is the style of D-pad I prefer. It's much softer, and I think it's a larger, better ergonomic D-pad. But that's my opinion. But otherwise, I think this is a great controller. Wakes up the console. You don't even have to turn on or go into the controller configurations. You just pop on your console and then just turn this on and bam, it recognizes it. It's there. You don't have to press anything extra. Once it's synced, it's synced. So the same thing goes with the GameCube one. Now, if you're looking for a less expensive wireless alternative, this will do in a pinch by far. But the more games I play, the more I realize, well, you can't use it with everything. Well, you can use it, but you're missing a couple features. There's no minus button. The start and pause button acts as the plus button. D-pad's a little tiny, but GameCube's known for that. And, well, you have no, I guess that would be the L3 and R3, the stick presses. They don't, because the GameCube never did that. So you are technically missing 3 full button presses. And as I was playing certain games, I was like, wait, I'm missing button presses. And I didn't realize that in my initial review, because I didn't think to even check that out. And I was like, wait, the GameCube never had that. So you are missing these. And that was a big mistake on my behalf. But you still have that tiny... It's funny that they added a ZL button to offset the ZR, or the Z here, but no minus button. Like, I'm like, did they hide it on me? Did they shove it somewhere in the crack? No, they didn't. There's really just no minus. You got your capture, you got your home, you got your C button for the online camera, and start and pause is your plus button, and well, that's it. So yeah, it's a great controller. The rumble is just fine, but you can't use it with everything. So you do have other wired alternatives like the Haripad, and then PowerA's Ultimate wired controller. Well, this is the Advantage wired controller, and I think this is the best out of all of them in terms of, well, just look and feel. So it's still wired though. No rumble, no NFC, no gyro. Okay. You got the Onn, which feels cheap, and this is the Walmart brand. I also put Skull & Co. stick caps on here. And this feels great. It's actually a good wired controller, non-detachable cable, but it has turbo and not, well, it doesn't have camera. And neither of these 3 options, or either I should say, can wake up the console because they require the console's power in order to do so. So the console has to be powered on. You don't have the ability, so it technically is really more like Switch 1 controllers that can access the camera feature with C buttons. This one doesn't have that, but you've got 2 flappy paddles and your programmable button for the flappy paddles. It's a great controller. Now this one even has rumble. For 20 bucks, it's a great alternative. But honestly, once you look at everything and what the Switch offers, the Switch 2 is a beautiful machine. It's a great console with a lot of promise in the future, with a ton of great games. Mario Kart World is the crown jewel, and we've got Donkey Kong Bonanza, and you've got a number of other third-party offerings. And my second favorite game is Fast Fusion, which is the sequel to Fast RMX. Great racing game. Those are the 2 I've actually been playing for Switch 2 titles. Otherwise, I've been going back and playing some of my older Switch 1 games to see the performance. And ultimately, yeah, I've been using the older controllers, like the 8-Bit Do Ultimate 2 and the GameSir Supernova. Fantastic controllers, work great. I have them connected to the dock, so they're always charged, and you have the charge dock. So it's fine. It's great when I'm playing those. And I've tested them out in Mario Kart World and everything. But honestly, without the functionality of the wake up, because of the difference in Bluetooth, there's really no other option besides this one if you want the best of the best. And even if you're comparing it to all the other controllers out there, I think the only other controller that can really hold its own to this one is probably the DualSense. But again, that's a competitor. It's Sony. It's got a lot of great features, but this has a beast of a battery life. I've heard people saying, oh, it's horrible. I was like, okay, I've charged it once in the last month. Yes, I've charged this controller once in the last month, and this is my go-to. This is the only one that I've used in the last few days as much as I would normally use this one. And I've charged this one once and this one once in a month. I ran through the battery until it died after about 2 weeks. Yes, 2 weeks of playing, plugged it in, and then the last 2 weeks, I still haven't had to charge it. Yes, this is a beast of a battery, and I don't understand people who are saying, oh, it's not that good, but I think it's fantastic for what it does. I thought that HD Rumble 2 would pretty much just destroy battery life. Nope, it's a great controller, great battery life. It's beyond comfortable. Again, the only thing is I wish the sticks came with a little better texture on the caps, but hey, that's taken care of here. And grips. Maybe with a future version, Nintendo will add some grips. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a texture, a different texture. I don't know. But if they don't, because they're really not known for doing that, I think I'm okay with that. And oh, I forgot to mention how amazing the sticks feel compared to everything else. That ultra smooth, super smooth, whatever they call it, is just, it's like someone greased your control sticks with butter and it doesn't attract any ants or get sticky. But that is amazing feel on the sticks. The sticks cannot be beaten. No, they're not Hall Effect. The only Hall Effect option you have here is the one from PowerA, and well, it's worth it if you want wired. But the lack of rumble, the lack of gyro, the lack of NFC, $40 controller, hey, yeah, great. Hall Effect, you'll never get the drift. And if you do, it's probably something you done did because you broke it or you dropped it or you slammed it or your dog took it away and went bye or something like that. I don't know. But this is still, this is the controller to have, and it really can't be beaten at this point in time. So yeah, $85 is a lot to spend. There are other options. We are getting other options from other companies. I do know, well, that's because I posted on their social media, EasySMX is coming out with one. It's supposed to be later this month. From my understanding, hopefully we get it sooner. I'm not going to be surprised if it gets a little delay, but we are getting one from EasySMX, which will be a standard Switch 2 wireless controller with the C button, and it will wake up the console. So I do know we have that. There are other companies working on it. I have been told from others that there are some major companies coming out with some, and I am looking forward to getting my hands on those. And until then, I really have nothing else to compare it to, because this, nothing can compare to it. This is going to be your closest option, but it's still missing those features. So this is it. This is the bad boy on the block, and I think this one is going to be the standard bearer going forward, even for the next generation. I was surprised, but you know what? Pleasantly surprised. It's a great controller. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about the Switch 2 Pro controller, and if you've tried any of these other offerings, and what your opinion is on those. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. God bless each and every one of you. Like we always say, be legendary. Thanks again.